with another video of Excel VBA application. In the last video we have been talking about dynamic navigation through the worksheet. We have utilized the function active cell, property active cell, and row with it, active cell and column, and we used it to get the value of currently active cells. So for now it would be by, for example, because cell G10 is active. Then we can place this value into the variable and use it to populate another cell. Just going back quickly, the Excel allows you to get the value of the active cell straight away just by typing active cell, and if you press Ctrl and space, Excel will give you an option to complete the word, so you can select whatever you want from the drop down menu. So we want active cell, so tab, and we can straight away ask for a value, and we can put it into the variable and then use it. But I just wanted to show you the use of variables as you can use them then in addressing the cell. So you can do it this way, but this is the quicker way. So if I just, copy this variable so it equals active cell value, I will comment these two lines so they wouldn't apply, and this one as well. So, and I will select cell E6. I go back to the code and run it line by line. So F8, F8. So we can see that we have the value of active cell straight away in the variable, and we can use it to populate whatever other cell or range we want. Then we were showing how to count the last row in whatever column. In this instance it's the column 1. So when this line is executed, it gets the last row in column 1, which is row 17, sure enough. And this one gets the last column in row 1. So if this one goes on, then the last column is surely 7. If we make a few more columns here and run the line again, then it will show us a different value. It will be 12. So that was the previous video. In this video we are going to talk about how to, I will reset this, how to use mainly these two variables in looping. So looping, we have in column A, we have this set of values. You can see that it randomizes the by value, hello value, and range value in those cells, in those rows. So let's say that we want to analyze each cell and the value it holds in column 1, and based on the value it holds, we then basically do something with the cell or with a different cell, it doesn't matter. So how do we do this? We utilize for next loop. I have this one already here from previous video, so I just copy this here. And to utilize for next loop, you have to start with for and then the variable which you will use. You have to then declare what will be the starting value of the variable and what will be the final value of the variable, and then you use the end statement of the loop, which is for this loop next x or whatever the variable you have used. So if you use j, for example, you need to use j in here as well. So why use dynamic rows? Let's say I have 17 rows here now. So I will start for j equals 2 to 17. And we say whatever is going to be in between those two lines gets repeated 16 times. So we say we want to look at the value of each cell first. So cells, and row index will be j, column index will be 1, and we get the value. Okay, we put the value into the variable. I will just copy this one so that I don't have to type it. Okay, and now we're gonna decide what to do with that information. So let's say that whenever this value equals, let's say, by, then we are going to move this value to the second column B. Yeah? So let's go back to the code and use if statement to make a decision. So if, never mind, we just need to finish the line. So if this variable holds the value by, in double quotes because it's the text, then we will move this value to the same row but in a different column. So if it equals, then we say cells, open parentheses, row index will be j again, because we want to populate it in the same row, and column index will be 2. And we say value after dot equals whatever the variable value of the variable is. So equals this, and we end if. And if. Okay, so let's comment these lines for now and execute our code. So pressing F8, 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 doesn't matter, the value here will change. So we already have the value from active cell, which is B1, but it's empty, so the variable is empty. So we are now going to the loop. The loop, basically each time this runs, j will start first on the value 2, and each time this loop does these steps and goes to the next j, then for another round j will increment by 1 and it will be 3. So right now we are taking the value from cell number row number 2. Sorry, I'll go a little bit back, and I'll make it 1 because we are starting on row 1. So going back, for j equals 1, we are looking now for the value in cell in row 1, column 1. So when we execute this line, we see that the value of this variable is now by, and here we are analyzing it. We are asking, is the value of this variable by? Yes, it is. So go on another line. So F8 and execute this command. So put the value of this variable into the cell in row 1 but column 2. So F8, and you can see the by got populated. Then go into the next j, j now holds the value 2, and we are looking in the row 2, column 1, what is the value in that cell. So it was by. When this line gets executed, it's now hello. And we are again asking, if this variable holds the value by, then execute this statement, but it holds hello, so right now it won't be executed and it skips it. And sorry, another button, and again goes to next j and does the same thing, each time with j incremented by 1. So I will run it all the way through now by pressing this play button, and you can see that whenever there was by in column A, it got analyzed in this row, and if this was true, then the value got put in column B. Here, 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 and here. Okay, so why do we use it? Why this is not a very good idea to hard code the end of the loop here? Because if I take one more or however many lines here, I copy it in here and in here, that's enough for now, and I run the loop again. Just for this time delete the values in here so we can see, and I run the loop again. So from 1 to 17, analyze the by value and do this operation if it's true. So I run it again, and we see that from 1 to 17 the evaluation of the condition happened and the operation also happened. But we have another by here in row 18, we have another by here in row 22, and the last one in row 26. So not to lose our desired operation, whenever someone adds another row below the last one, we utilize the dynamic counting of the rows. So I will now uncomment this line and comment this one so it doesn't confuse us, and I will use this variable in the loop instead of hardcode number 17. And let's see what it does now. So going line by line, F8, F8, what it did now, it counted the number of rows in column 1 and got us the last one. So the last row is 26, and it goes now to do the loop. So it will do all the same, but this time it won't stop at 17, but it will stop at whatever the last row will be. So this will now be repeated 26 times, since the last row is 26. So we run it all again, and we can see that we now have the bys in all the range, and if we now add one more, and we run the code again, so it again will do the correctly. Yeah, so that's why we use dynamic counts of rows, and same with columns. Okay, so this is basic simple for next loop with evaluating some condition. If we want to take it a little step further, we can elaborate more on the if procedure, and we will say that if this variable holds the value by, then we execute this statement, and if it holds the different value, then we execute another statement. For this we utilize a command called else, and so we are asking, is this variable by? If it is, do this. If it's not, do this. So what we are going to do if it's not by? So let me delete this. So we see, and what we are going to do if the value is not by. Okay, so if the value is not by, we will actually delete whatever contents is in that cell if it does not equal to by, and if it equals to by, we will move the by over here. So for that we will use command called clear contents. So we can copy this first part here into here, and after dot we use clear contents. Yeah. And we can run the macro again. This time let's make a few more rows in here. We say hello, and we say range, and we copy those two in here so it's clearly visible, and we run the code. Okay, so line by line, last row is now 37, so this will go all the way to number 37. So analyzes the cell A1 now. Now it analyzes the actual value of the variable. It is by, so it executes this command and goes to another j. J is now equal to 2, so it analyzes A2. It gets the value from A2. It analyzes it. Is it by? No, it's hello. So it goes to the else part and it executes this command. Sorry. So yeah, I made a mistake here. This should not be column 2 but column 1. So going back, executing this line here, and we see that value hello has been deleted. So once again analyzing, it's not by, so it gets deleted again. So if I run it all the way through, you can see that all the way through the last row, which was 37, these operations were done. Whenever this was by, it got moved here, and whenever this was something else, it got deleted. Okay, so that's for next loop with checking some conditions. Okay, let's do it in another video. This one is already too long. So in another video we will do a different version of the loop, which is do until loop. So thank you now for watching. Hope you find this useful, and let's see you in another video.